All right. Hold on. Let me make sure.
Oh,
Speak. Speak words. Let's make sure.
speak. Hello, I am here.
Hello there.
Howdy.
Hello. All right. Oh.
Hello there. I have the high ground.
I have the high ground, Gregory.
Gregory.
Gregory. I
Yeah.
can I can see
Do
you
you find it curious that Vanny sounds like Vanessa
now.
and Bunny?
Whoa. That's crazy. I think you just solved the FNAF lore. Um hello
But
everybody.
I think it's what they call hello,
You're good.
superstars.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be pure chaos. But guys, happy April Fool's Day. Actually, you know what? We're not even going to read this book. We're going to wouldn't it be funny actually if this was an April Fool's stream and this was us just reading like cringe fan fiction or something?
Oh man, that would be great.
Oh my goodness.
If it
This might be better though. We're going to be playing
no
through.
no
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say it would be like funny if it was just like furry fan fiction that was just completely unrelated to FNAF that
Oh
we were
no.
both trying to sell as like legitimate FNAF things.
This is my
Like
headcanon.
yes, like us just talking about Zootopia like it's a Five Nights at Freddy's 2
Oh
movie or
no.
something.
Well, quickly moving along from that. I don't know where that's going. Oh dear. Um guys, there's a new FNAF book out. It is called Escape the Pizzaplex, and I have seen the internet's reaction to this has been very excited and positive. And not like honestly, I am still very very excited for this book because of the absence of specific characters. Because I honestly think that probably tells us more about the lore
Oh.
than them actually being present. For we have a lot to talk about with this book, and I've got here the grand, the great, the wonderful Nightlen here
Yes.
from the
Yes.
night
I'm
the Nightlen
I
channel.
will the yes, I will say this. I am not as into the FNAF lore, so I am more of a filthy casual. You know, my thing is
Oh,
chess. I will say that the logical fallacy is certified like 2500 plus in terms of Five Nights at Freddy's lore.
oh my
So I'll have
goodness.
to trust him, you know. He
Yeah.
knows all about the Fazgoo and everything.
Oh gosh, no.
I'm just curious to find
The Faz.
um,
You went straight for the
yes, the
Fazgoo.
fast goo.
That's great.
I mean, I feel like it's the main thing that people know about that's like sort of strange. And the
the
poster child this is Monty Golf himself.
yes,
Just
yes.
just Monty.
Just Monty. You know, Monty being
Yes.
Monty, crashing through walls. I love the fact that like canonically, you know, we learned in the first interactive novel VIP that Monty just had like a maze where he just like literally terrorized kids. Like everybody was scared of that. Like canonically, he just always has been this way. Um, that's fun. He's just kind of a wild boy. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. The thing that I definitely want to be canon is you know like that glitch in Security Breach where like you can just get 20 Monties? I want that
The
to be made canon.
oh my goodness, the Giga Monty meme. Oh my
Yes, the
goodness.
Giga Monty needs to be confirmed in this novel or it's just a bad novel.
It could
All right, so
happen.
do you want to just hop on
Yes,
into this interactive novel? Okay.
we absolutely can. So
Let's get started, superstars.
how this is gonna work? Let me get first of all, Nightland, since you're reading or watching the stream, does Does it sound good? Are we audible?
I it definitely sounds like it. I just unmuted the stream real quick as I had it muted because I'm in the call, but it seems like it's going good.
Very good. And then okay, so I've got inventory up here, which we will need. Um, let's just jump into this because oh boy, based on the little that I've read, this book's interesting. All right, and hopefully that
Okay.
my reading voice is good. Also, this time I'm not just like sitting down in the dark just with like an actual physical copy of the book. I actually have like the big letters that I can properly read. That's probably why it was so bad last time. And I don't think it was actually that bad. It just I stumbled over myself a lot because I couldn't see the words well. I need big letters to read this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely should put on my novelty fake glasses so I can read this too.
Well, it
Um,
is a novel. So,
yes.
there you
All
go.
right.
All right, so we have Five
See
Nights at
here.
Freddy's Escape the Pizzaplex, an interactive novel by Scott Coffin and Lindsay Ellie, who is a new author for the Five Nights at Freddy's um, book franchise or book, series. I think that they are. He's been trying out like several different authors for each one of these. I guess just kind of testing out which writing styles he likes best. So we'll see how this goes. Special thanks to DJ Sturf, who playtested this game. Um, Also, whenever I saw this, I immediately saw apparently there are 5 nights. So spoilers for that.
Yes.
There are apparently I don't know. Fingers crossed that there's a secret sixth night that they're not actually telling you about. That'd be fun. All
Yeah.
right.
Yes, and even better if it's like if there's some references, night 6, I want to see hyperlink blocked.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be amazing?
you just have like a Toby Fox reference in there, hyperlink blocked
Yes.
Spamton reference. That'd
Ooh,
be crazy.
okay.
Can you imagine having like
You
a glitch trap versus like Spamton, like face off? That'd be
Oh, wow.
crossover.
So there's difficulties to this thing.
Oh no,
That's
this is
very
like an
interesting.
actual proper game here. Okay, so I'll start this off. You are Cassie, a kind-hearted and adventurous young patron of Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, and human best friend of Gregory. I've got to say, I'm gonna be. I have to stop. I have to like comment on these things.
Well, uh, wait.
And
Human best
human.
friend is very interesting phrasing.
I love this.
Especially, does that imply that Gregory is not a human?
No, I think the implication here is funnier that Gregory doesn't have any human friends. He's one of he has mostly animatronic friends because like Cassie, which we do know he actually canonically has other friends. Because in GGY, which was another Tales of the Pizzaplex book, he straight up, is implied to have lured one to the Pizzaplex and potentially offed, a kid who got too close to learning his secret identity. Oh, wait a second. FNAF 2 trailer tomorrow. I did hear that we are getting a trailer this week. So that very much could be true. That's kind of crazy. Also, welcome to the stream.
Yes.
I'm not gonna attempt to try and pronounce the username because I am not gonna attempt because I am getting frustrated.
I will attempt. I will attempt.
Attempt, please.
VS edits VS edits.
Welcome to
I
the stream.
I don't know.
All right, we'll continue with and human best friend of Gregory, a precarious boy with a penchant for getting into trouble. Lately, you and Gregory have taken to hiding in the Pizzaplex after hours in order to play once everyone else has left. A completely normal thing to do when you're a child of like, what are they like? And this is Wasn't it set in
I
ruin?
don't know how old they
Cassie
are.
was like 11. It was her 11th birthday. Although it
Oh,
wasn't.
yes, 1+1, because you are my favorite twice.
Yeah, but then it's like. So this means that these are like 10-year-olds or like 11-year-olds. Or I think Gregory might be a little older, like 12 or something like that. It's weird. Why are these little
I,
kids?
I mean, his robot parts could be any age, really. He could
Yeah.
be a couple months old.
If you
Um,
if you take out the lore, it's just kind
but
of weird. Like, hey, but then again, that's not unusual for this universe. Kids oftentimes just kind of like break into places for some reason at young ages. Okay, you enjoy the animatronics more than you like most other kids your age, especially Roxy Wolf, who has been your idol ever since she came to rescue of your birthday party that no one showed up to, and made it the best
not even
birthday
Gregory.
you ever had. Gregory was missing, I think that was the implication. Well, no, 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 no. No, that was later on. No, Gregory was there. Yeah, but
Well, if no one showed up to it, that you know, well, to count Gregory as a person, robot or not, I mean, he's not exactly the best friend you could ever have.
let's be
From all
honest.
we know about him.
After witnessing the ending of Ruin, I think we can all agree that Gregory is a snake. All right, he doesn't deserve our sympathy. Like, he's a savage. He's a snake. This kid
I mean, it
is not
depends.
to be
It depends. It
trusted.
depends on your interpretation. You could just say that, you never talked with a real Gregory, and if you want to be a Gregory apologist,
Oh
and
my
say
goodness.
that that was the mimic. Even the lines that sounded like they weren't the mimic were the mimic.
No, get out of here. That's no. We all cleared that up. The voice lines were broken up because they were two separate files, but they do actually
Hey,
include real
yeah.
Gregory in the title. But then again, if Gregory's a robot, then real has no meaning here. So take that
Yes, that is
with
true.
what you will. But yeah, so this is recapping a lot of the lore we learned about her in Ruin. So, like Gregory, you have a fondness and aptitude for computers and have an intimate understanding of the Pizzaplex and its workings, thanks to your father's work as a Faz technician. I am really interested in getting more lore about Cassie and her dad specifically. Like, I know we're not getting any like big drops on like Vanny um or like Burn Trap or Glitch Trap or potentially any of that. But
Yes.
I mean, potentially, as far as anyone is aware, we'll see. We'll see what happens because I mean the entire setup of this is something we're gonna have to talk about. But okay, so Cassie, her dad, birthday party, Roxy's her favorite, all established here. This means you and Gregory know exactly how to take advantage of all the fun options the Pizzaplex has to offer at night. Sure, it gets a little weird once all the people are gone and only the animatronics and bots are left. But weird is just another term for cool, right?
Yes.
Be careful though, security has gotten much tighter lately due to Gregory's mischief management has splurged on renovations along with adding keypads and intercoms. Tonight, Gregory says he has a special idea for what to do, but insists that it has to be a surprise, which you're willing to go along with, you think. As much as you enjoy your time on the Pizzaplex with
Oh, okay.
Gregory, he can be known to take things a little far sometimes. Still, you wouldn't want him to think you're not up for whatever plans he has in mind. As Gregory's games play out, you'll have many choices to make, which will lead to various outcomes. If you find an item that might help you during the night, write it down for later, but first, you have an important decision to make. If you want to play on easy difficulty, add the flashlight Bonnie keychain, and
Yeah. So
which we're going to be playing on normal, I think.
yeah. I mean, it almost seems disrespectful that they're
Yeah,
like We have to go to on easy immediately.
We're not going
Okay.
on baby
So
mode
food
here.
service. Yeah, this is Five Nights at Freddy's, not
So
not some easy baby game.
what do you think about this setup here? So you have Gregory and Cassie just hanging out in the Pizzaplex after hours, right? Which they apparently do quite
Right.
frequently.
Yeah, they do it so frequently that they're trying to say that the security insecurity breach was because this was so common. I
Which
don't know if
by
that really. It's kind of strange. I will say.
it is strange. It's that's something that's explained more in the both the the therapist tapes and GGY, because we learn about
Yeah.
patient 46, which is Gregory, confirmed in Tales of the Pizzaplex GGY, where basically Gregory kind of was known to like break into the Pizzaplex constantly and just mess around with the animatronics code. He's the one who lured the therapists to their doom. Apparently, like they died. So he's a part, an assistant to murder, which is fun. So Gregory,
Yeah, definitely a little
great
different than what
character.
I was getting up to around that age, but
Yeah.
Everybody has their own hobbies and interests.
But
Ugh.
it's interesting
I-
that Cassie's here. Like Cassie was involved
Yeah.
in this. Like that seems, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess one thing that's like sort of weird about prequel stories like this is that if you do die, it has to be non-canon, which is sort of interesting.
Yeah.
Unless it goes into part of Ruin, which I guess is possible that we get into that later on, which
I think
I don't know.
what I'm hoping is that this directly leads to security breach. Like what I'm expecting from this is I would really like to understand how Gregory broke off from Glitchtrap's control, or even if he ever was. And we'll
Yeah, I
talk-
guess that's a subversive idea, right? That
Yeah.
maybe he was never influenced and he's just a
He's
piece
just-
of crap, which I could
Yeah.
very much believe that about Gregory, from all I know about him.
Yeah. And I
With
mean,
friends like Gregory, who needs enemies?
yeah, he's a bit of a sad. I mean, he literally went through the entire story of security breaches, him just going around destroying the animatronics, like public property damage, and upgrading Freddy for some reason. Like that's a big part of the game. Is like, oh, let's take upgrades. We can upgrade you, like. And somehow he doesn't
Yes.
know where he's going, and yet he knows the layout intimately. And yet, and
Yeah,
the thing is, the entire this is what bothers me. Okay, the entire setup of security breach is that Gregory, just pops up in he's just inside Freddy's chest cavity, which is weird. But he's in Freddy's green room, which is why Freddy mentions whenever Gregory comes and says, "Oh, I don't have a photo pass." That's why Freddy's so confused, because he's like, "Oh, I assumed you had one because you're in the green room." And we see what looks to be like an error message in whenever Freddy passes out. It's when he receives a message from an outside source right after seeing a known threat that is a child. Considering that Gregory was on their alert, it makes sense that on high security they had something against Gregory to be like, security measure, this person's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So
And
had
I
to
forgot that he started out in Glamrock Freddy's chest cavity to begin with, which
Yeah.
just had a hilarious image pop into my mind. Like the pregnant man emoji.
No.
We need one of those of Freddy, of Glamrock Freddy.
No, I mean that's already a meme. That's already a thing. That's Oh my goodness, wasn't it? I don't know if you would know this, because I don't know if you were inundated with the meme culture back whenever Security Breach released, but I think there was like a whole meme that I think was started from, oh, what's his name? Speedrunner. His
Matt Pat?
face. No, 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 not
No,
Matt Pat is
no.
not a
I say
speedrunner.
that. No. What? Matt Pat in his ruined
Oh
playthrough,
yeah,
he accidentally skipped a large shot. I was just making a joke, but yeah, I don't
that
know.
was funny. Oh, it'll come to me. But all right, we'll play on normal difficulties. Uh,
Yes. Okay. So if you just touch night one,
and here we are.
yeah.
It's finally closing time at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. Shrouded behind a thick pillar in a dark corner, you and Gregory hide and wait for the last of the Pizzaplex patrons to trickle out the front entrance. After a while, the last of the families leave, carrying their arcade prizes in half-empty plastic souvenir cups, and the heavy door snaps shut, locking after them. A few cleaning bots appear sweeping through to gather up all the dropped popcorns and discarded candy wrappers, as the lights dim, leaving only the neon signs to cast their sharp, vivid glow across the main lobby. It gets quiet. So
Right.
quiet. Oh, what were you gonna say?
No. Continue.
It
See
gets
here.
it get-
Actually, I do have something to say. So for this, I don't know where your webcam is best placed because your face is currently hiding some of the image.
Oh,
So
that
like,
is true. Let
yeah.
me
So maybe you should drag your face cam to like where night one is. I don't know if the formatting is going to be the same on every page, but
It
just
should
I can't really.
Yeah, it should be, I think, potentially better. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a good point out. Thank
Or
you.
I don't. Yeah,
Or
or I don't know. Maybe you should like make for a webcam for this like just a little smaller. That way, I don't know.
there we go. Or I mean, we could do full immersion. I could just take off my webcam. I mean, that's fine too. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But okay. Anyway, quiet, so quiet you can hear the faint buzz of those lights and Gregory's breathing, where he hides beside you.
Everyone's
Everyone's gone.
Gregory finally says, "Do you want to voice Gregory?"
Let's go.
He moves
Yeah, I can. Let's
deliberately,
go.
but silently. There are still security bots roaming around, after all, and you follow, staying close and keeping an eye out as you cross the lobby and head for the stairs that lead up to the main stage area. You pass the giant Freddy fountain at the lobby center, being careful as you travel, but by now the two of you know what to expect and how to avoid discovery. A few bots aren't going to stop you. At night, the Pizzaplex becomes your playground. And what a playground it is. Even when empty, there's a busy energy to the space. It's like there's a song playing. Something you can't quite make out, but one that never stops. Even at night. Not that you can really tell that it's night. Other than the lowered lights, the Puzzleplex feels almost the same at night as it does during the day. Almost.
Almost. Yes.
Also,
Huh.
interesting. So I wonder if I don't know if this is intentional. Once again, this is my brain overthinking things. But whenever Cassie says here, this is kind of a deep cut reference. That it's like there's a song playing, something you can't quite make out, but one that never stops. That sounds almost like a reference to the Fazbear and Friends, not Fazbear and Friends. Yeah, no. The because my brain going to too many places. So, in the animated shorts leading up to the release of Security Breach, the song that played was let me see the lyrics if I can let's see. Freddy Friends from short real quick. I know this is not at all important, but this is where my mind goes. This is what this stream is. This is my brain.
Your brain on FNAF.
Yes. What was it called? Because it wasn't that. It was it was on Steel Wool's website. Not website, but it was like, I think that the lyrics for that were along the same lines as like the song Never Stops. I'm trying to think what it was. Freddie and Friends, yeah. On tour. But I wondered if they had the lyrics here. Here it is. Yeah, it's like the "we just keep playing forever and ever, forever and ever and ever." That's the I think the lyrics are pretty much the same as it goes on. But like the thing is like the song never stops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's probably completely unrelated as far as it goes, but it's just interesting connections to like that like little bit of media where it's like that song that's connected to like the song that never stops. And also in Into the Pit you have the Eternal Song, which is a parody, a stand-in reference for the Never Ending Story, I think, as like trying to be like an 80s reference. But it's subbed out for the Eternal Song because I'm pretty sure that's a reference to an old poem that talks about a couple like preserving the memory of their youth. At least that was always my guess at it. But I don't know. Interesting little trivia, I suppose. We'll keep going though. All right. So almost the same night as it does during the day. Almost. Gregory
Almost,
moves
yes.
like he has a plan already, though he didn't bother to mention anything earlier while you both were waiting for everyone to leave. But at this point in your friendship, you can tell when he's got an idea in mind. If only he'd give you a hint or two. Where are we headed? You ask. And then that's you.
Yes. I trying to say shush. I don't know if my mic
No,
picked it up.
You're good. Shh, he says, but gestures for you to keep following. You realize your destination soon enough. Heading past the main stage, you enter the hall where the mascots, the Glamrock animatronics, have their green rooms. They run in a line. First Freddy's, then Roxy's, then Monty's, and finally Chica's. Roxy is your favorite, but Gregory leads you into Freddy's green room, where Freddy is standing in the corner. From the way Gregory runs over to him, it's clear Freddy has been waiting. The animatronic comes to life as you approach, eyes going bright and a wide smile stretching across his face. Do you want to...
Hello, Gregory.
There you go. Freddy says happily.
Hello, Cassie. Are you ready to play the game?
Game? What game? Gregory turns back to you with a mischievous twinkle in his eye. Do you want to voice...
Tonight we're gonna play hide and seek. You and I are going to hide and Freddy's going to seek.
Oh.
This does not sound murdery at all.
Okay. And you were a little worried about what Gregory had in mind, but hide and seek is simple enough. Girl, you need to run. Like get out of here. It even sounds like fun. What are the rules?
Puffed. We don't need rules. We can hide anywhere in the Pizzaplex, but the first one to get found by Freddy loses, and they die. Wait,
says Freddy.
Don't forget, Gregory. There is one rule. You both get a head start before I start looking for you to murder you.
No, Freddy would never. Not our beloved superstar.
I'm gonna murder both of you, superstars.
To me, this is really an interesting setup of like immediately it's setting up like the whole this whole thing feels like it's leading up to security breach because here you have Freddy like being basically like pals with Gregory here, you know. Potentially, you know, kind of a forced friendship because we know that from GGY that Gregory basically reprogrammed him or like put programming in there. Potentially doing this, the whole hide and seek protocol, which could be the whole way that they're able to like know how to like find you when in security breach. Like this potentially could be like programming and them learning how to go out and find people and like basically stalk their victims, right? Which is really interesting. I don't know what you think.
Yes.
If you agree
No,
with that
I do think
interpretation.
I do think it's interesting. You know, man, it's also sort of weird just to think about what Gregory in like their database is like a potential threat whenever you go back to things like FNAF 2, whenever, you know, there was like the criminal database that was in some of the electronics in
Yeah.
FNAF 2 specifically to protect children. So imagining like the facial recognition being used on a child is sort of like strange. Considering the
Things
full
have
context of the lore,
I mean you have like
things have changed.
you have like 10-year-olds breaking into like a giant complex running around this building at night and like constantly
And that justifies the death penalty, Gregory.
Gregory. Yeah, I think they're gonna push you away for a long time for this one. Alright, a head start sounds reasonable enough, though Freddy doesn't elaborate on how long you have to hide. When do we start? You ask. Gregory smiles.
Now!
He cries and he's just like, woohoo! It's like, it just runs off like that cartoony run.
Yep.
He cries and dashes off before
We're
you can
pouting.
protest. You pout.
And now we're pouting.
He ran off without me. You pout and cross your arms. Typical Gregory. Not outright cheating, but he certainly could have given you more warning. This is you.
Time is ticking.
Time is ticking, superstar. Before.
Yes.
I don't know. I was trying to think of like a rhyme. But you won't get too far, superstar. Time is ticking.
You won't get too far before I murder you, superstar.
That's great. Freddy says, you don't waste another moment. You run off. But by the time you get into the hallway outside the green room, Gregory is long gone. You take a few more steps, then slow, unsure which way to go. After all, the Pizzaplex is huge. The Superstar Daycare, Chica's mazer size, the pizza counter. There are so many places you could think of to hide. How about the front door, Cassie? How about you go towards the front door and you leave? how about that? That you don't know where to start. The hallway leads off in an opposite direction, so picking which way to go would be a good start. Your gaze is also drawn to the door to Roxy's green room, which is a short walk away and open. Roxanne Wolf, with her wild silver hair and edgy punk rock style, is your idol. You can still remember how sad you felt when you had your birthday party at the Pizzaplex, and none of the kids you invited showed up. It was Roxy who came to your rescue, singing and dancing and making sure you had fun. Because of her, it turned out to be the best birthday ever. And Roxy has been your favorite
And we're last.
Oh, that's really sad. Kind of got me a little depressed thinking about Ruin now. And then superstar, you killed her at the end. Oh, I love Roxy. She's my favorite. It's Panzo.
Yes. Oh.
Have you seen those like foreshadowing short video memes where it's like the foreshadowing is just like every
No,
millisecond,
I
like,
haven't.
oh, I don't know how to describe it to you except it's just funny. But just imagine that with Roxy's death. It's like, oh, I'm having such a fun time, and then it's just like every few seconds, it just like randomly cuts to Roxy's body. It's just like, happy birthday, Cassie, and it's just her dead. And it's like, you did that.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyways. You know the Pizzaplex like the back of your hand, but if anyone would know a good place to hide where Freddy wouldn't think to look, it would be Roxy. The door to Monty's green room is also open, and something sitting just inside catches your eye. You can't quite make it out, but whatever it is, it's not something you've seen in the Pizzaplex before. Maybe you should check it out. You think for a few moments considering your options, but Freddy's generous head start is already ticking down, so there's no time to waste. Okay, so we have a few options here. I'm going to try to write these down so that I know where these are. So we have the option of, if you want to turn left down the hallway, you can touch here. If you want to turn right down the hallway, if you want to go into Roxy's green room and talk to her, if you want to go into Monty's green room and investigate the mystery item. So those are let's see, 4 options? Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 4 options. Let me see. Go into Roxy's room and talk to her. Well, I feel like she's not gonna kill us, maybe.
I'm trying to copy these down so that I can have these. So what was your choice you were thinking of? What page is this?
I was thinking of Roxy, going to Roxy, but I'm open to do whatever feels right to you.
I think that sounds good. I mean, Roxy is her favorite. This would be canonically what I feel like Cassie would do. There's no way that Cassie would go into Monty's green room because Monty is gross. Monty is not cool. Roxy is.
Yeah, nobody likes Monty. Yeah, exactly.
Gross, Monty. All right, so we can go, and I think that. Okay, hold on. Where am I going? Okay, here we are. So we're going to go to Roxy's green room and talk to her. And I don't know how this one's laid out because I think these are all kind of laid out differently. Some of these are laid out in like where you can like kind of open world sort of where it like loops around and you can go to different areas and there's like a certain like base. But then there's like other things that are more linear. With this being like a day by day thing, I have a feeling this is probably going to be more linear. But we'll see. And that sounds weird for a book, but this is a different kind of book, so. Alright. Freddy Fazbear is an animatronic. And to outsmart an animatronic in a game of hide and seek, you decide you need to get help from another animatronic. Plus, you always like a reason to visit Roxy. You run to the open door of her green room and go inside. As always, it's aglow in awesome neon green and purple light, with white and black checkerboard flags and tires from Roxy Raceway decorating the walls. It's so cool. You wish you had a room just like it. The Roxy stan is killing me, but I love it. Roxy, are you here? It's me, Cassie. Oh, yeah. So you step further inside and look around, but your favorite rock star is nowhere to be seen. Which is strange. After operating hours, the Glamrock animatronics usually return to their green rooms until it's time for the Pizzaplex to reopen in the morning. Maybe Roxy is in rehearsal room or deeper in the bowels of the Pizzaplex getting maintenance done. You want to continue.
Yes, that's kind of weird that she's not there.
Yeah.
She's checking herself out in the mirror, probably. That's like the canonical
Probably.
answer.
Your fans are watching you right now. You want to continue searching for Roxy to figure out where she might have gone. Unfortunately, you don't have time, and you've already wasted enough of your head start. You need to take a different direction if you're going to find a good hiding place and evade Freddy's longer than Gregory does. There's no way you can let him win. You'll never hear the end of it. You leave Roxy's green room, heading back to where you came from. So,
So it
we.
seems like we probably should visit Monty's green room just with how it's saying there's a mystery item.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should.
It's interesting that this kind of like loops us around completely to this, but we didn't gain anything from doing that. I guess just the information that
Yeah.
Roxy wasn't there. I will say, okay, so we have left, right. So we can go to Monty's room. Let's go there. You decide to head down the hall to Monty Gator's green room and check out the strange item. But as curious as you are, you move cautiously. Of all the animatronics and bots in the Pizzaplex, Monty is the worst, the one who creeps you out the most. Though you're not sure why. It's probably just because he's a big alligator claws. Because of his big alligator claws. Or maybe it's his teeth. His many teeth. Still, that apprehension doesn't stop you from investigating what it is that you spy through his open doorway. You pass just inside the green room, which more than the other green rooms is literally the greenest. Giant stars light up the emerald walls, illuminating the images of Monty that decorate them. There are some leaves growing in the corners, which gives the room a vaguely tropical feel, but you're pretty sure they're plastic. Oddly, Monty isn't anywhere around, but maybe he's getting maintenance done before the Pizzaplex
Okay,
reopens in the morning.
so are we thinking that Gregory has already like in this story has tampered both Roxy and Monty, and that is why they are not where they usually are? Like maybe this is the
Yeah.
first time he's really experimented on all the electronics.
You know what's interesting? You know what I'm wondering? I don't think this.
What?
So, in Security Breach, there's. Well, no, that wouldn't be it. Um, I was thinking about Freddy's line about clearing the path, but Vanny seemingly was the one who led him to do that. Um, but I don't know. This is definitely a strange setup for sure. Because at this timeline, right, it it seems like this is very modern. Like this is very close to where we are in Security Breach. Like we have the staff bot initiative that Vanessa, the night guard, basically started. Like staff bot initiative that like the heightened security was her initiative, seemingly. Um,
Yes.
so this feels strange that like why is this all happening? Why is Gregory in control of them all? There's a lot of questions. I don't know if we'll get any answers, but there's a lot of questions. That's interesting.
Mhm.
But I definitely agree. I think that he's definitely tampered with their programming, and that's why they're kind of like all out there, and we're gonna have to like
Yeah,
go around
but
them.
if we've done this before, this is like maybe the first time
That he's really done it whenever Cassie's been around because she thought it
Yeah.
very strange that both of them are out, which
Well,
is just an observation.
it's possible that we've already played with them, right? Like we've already played their games. Gregory's already programmed them and got them to where he wants them, to where now this is kind of like testing them because it's like a big huge game of hide and seek. So it's like this is the game that he's been preparing them for, almost it feels like, which pretty much is what they do in Security Breach, which is kind of interesting. It goes back to this idea that Gregory has kind of been the front man as far as like all of the like technological glitches and stuff that have been going on. Like, there's even evidence potentially that he's behind the whole like Mimic One storyteller incident, because in the therapist tapes it talks about how there was a glitch that like caused the kind of like the main program to create its own like subroutines that were traced back to Gregory, and those events that are described are very similar to the ones that are go back to the storyteller, which is interesting. That's all connected to like Mimic One, and Gregory had a program that he made himself that would mimic his response. Like it was a self-therapy program that he created. It doesn't seem like he actually created it, but it would like mimic his form of speech to ask him questions and to get responses. So almost like an AI that he was programming. So I don't know. So that could be what we're seeing here, is that this is basically him basically like creating those alternate programs within these animatronics preparing for glitch trap, or like it's unsure what the main goal here is for him. I don't know. But I guess we'll keep reading and see if we get any more clues.
Yeah, so this is like where a key card would be useful, I guess, if you chose an easy, from what I'm reading. And
yeah.
Oh.
So, regardless, you didn't come here looking for Monty. There are a few steps away. Is the thing you spy through the doorway a crate? A sleek, brand new crate. It's not small, but it's not as big as some of the storage crates you've seen in other parts of the Pizzaplex either. What could be in there? A new decoration for the walls, maybe an upgraded instrument, maybe claws. No, maybe, I don't know. I was thinking maybe it's Bonnie's claws. You move closer, your curiosity getting the best of you. You've never been good at ignoring a mystery. But when you try to open the crate, the lock flashes red at you. You fiddle with it for a few seconds, but Freddy's head start is sticking away. And you don't have time to waste. And from what you can tell, only a key card is going to solve the mystery of whatever this crate contains. Okay. So it seems like...
So...
It seems like the only...
Yeah, so that keycard thing is like, something that we'll have to find in one of the other rooms, I guess.
Yeah, so that's letting us know that there is a crate with parts. That's really interesting, actually. Something to do with Monty specifically. And I'm wondering if it links back to potentially Bonnie. That'd be interesting. Okay, so we can turn left down the hallway, or we can turn right. What are we thinking here?
Well, I mean, it's just like a 50-50 chance, right?
Well, it's dependent upon what areas you want to go to. So if I'm thinking about this right, I think left would be towards the atrium. Well, potentially, depending on which way we're looking at. I guess if we're going out, heading back to where you came from.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I have a good feeling about right, but you know, it's not based on anything. It's just a random guess.
Being alright. There's nothing wrong. Right. Right you are. After some thought, you decide to take a right down the hallway and head back into the Pizzaplex atrium. So that's the atrium. Okay. There you pause to think again. There are so many areas to choose from, any one of which might be a good hiding spot, and it's hard to decide where Freddy would be the least likely to look for you. A part of you still wants to look for Roxy and ask her opinion, but you don't want to turn back now. You've wasted enough of your head start as it is, but thinking of Roxy gives you a great idea. You're going to hide in Roxy Raceway. Hold up. Oh. The neon purple the fact we're going to Roxy Raceway is like an immediate. I'm just wondering, what about the sinkhole? Can we go down in the sinkhole? Can we see some interesting things? Like, we might not see like major things, but can we, I don't know. That's interesting. Okay.
Yes, that would be pretty cool.
The neon purple drenched go-kart track is one of your favorite places to hang out at the Pizzaplex, mostly since it's Roxy's area, but with all the cars and garages and such, there are plenty of places where you can avoid Freddy. Hopefully Gregory hasn't had the same idea. You head into Rexy... Oh, it doesn't even give us a choice. That's where we're going. Okay. Interesting. That's where the story's going. You head into Roxy's Raceway, making your way through the reception area. Like before, you're almost overwhelmed by the choices available to you. You could stay close to the entrance and find a hiding spot in the reception area, or you could head down into the racetrack area, where there are go-karts and garages and more. What would Roxy do? You stand at the rail considering your options for so long that you jump a little when you hear Freddy's booming voice. Here you go.
Time's up.
He says
I didn't say it
excitedly.
Time's up. Ready or not, here I come.
You frown. If
I'm
Freddy...
ready to kill both of you superstars.
If you frown. If Freddy finds you before you've even gotten a chance to hide, Gregory will tease you all night. You need to be ready and quick. If you want to hide in the reception area, if you want to hide into the raceway, if you want to hide in one of the go-karts, if you want to hide in the raceway garage.
Okay, so I feel like the way that we have to look at this, right, is what if Glamrock decides to be murdery, we can damage a animatronic with the go-kart, and we have evidence of that in security breach. So I say we hide in the go-kart.
But here's the thing though. What if it's Roxy though? And what if we harm Roxy? Imagine how sad that would be. We've actually killed her twice. That's why it was so easy for
We
her
have to do what we gotta do.
Where, oh no, Roxy just keeps dying in the book over and over again.
That would be funny.
It's like that.
All 25 the digs, you have to kill Roxy once.
It's like in What If, the Marvel series What If, they keep killing off Iron Man.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. I guess so we want to go in the go-kart?
Yes, well, I do it.
I agree with that assessment. I think we should go. Let's hide in the go-kart. You rush down the stairs to the raceway. There's not a second to waste. You careful, though all the people may be gone from the Pizzaplex, but there are still cleaning and security bots around. You look around the course, quickly finding exactly where you're looking for. A demo go-kart set off to the side of the track. It looks a little small to be a hiding place, but when you reach it, you breathe a sigh of relief. There's the perfect amount of room for you to get in and hide if you scrunch down and pull yourself into a ball. Best of all, once you do that, you'll be totally invisible. There's no way Freddy will think to look for you in such a tight space. You climb into the car, arranging yourself into until you fit in a comfortable way. Well, mostly comfortable. Then you wait. This is a horrible idea. What are we doing? As time ticks by, your perfect hide-and-seek spot grows less and less comfortable. Still, it's such a good place to hide that you do your best to adjust to the discomfort, shifting your arms and legs as best you can when they start to ache. You're in the middle of one of these rearrangements when you hear a noise coming from somewhere out in the raceway. You freeze. Whatever it is, it's a faint, but it kind of sounds like footsteps. It could be nothing, or it could be Freddy, or even Gregory. On one hand, you could remain hidden and hope whoever or whatever it is passes by without getting close.
So I refuse to accept the notion that you cannot tell the difference between footsteps and Freddy's footsteps. Okay, the game audio, from what I remember, they're very distinct.
Well,
Uh,
this is just further evidence that
so
Gregory is a robot, right?
because technically you wouldn't hear what Gregory's footsteps sound like, so maybe but well, huh. I feel like if we remain hidden, we might have to like really commit to that decision. But at the
I
same time, I'm okay with that. So,
here's the thing. I am
what
very
are you thinking?
well. Here's the thing. If you want to peek out and see what's moving around, I feel like that's just gonna have us getting found or dying, depending on how this story is taking it. Is this going to be an instance of like, oh, we
Well,
found you, or is Freddy actually going to kill us? Like, I legitimately do not know where the story is going, which is kind of fun.
yeah, I remaining hidden. Well, also just look at it this way, right? It says that our leg is starting to fall asleep. So if it is an animatronic and our leg's like asleep, we are as good as dead. Like, could you imagine trying to run against a crazy animatronic with your leg half asleep? Like,
Yeah, it doesn't sound
I
fun.
don't think it would end well for me.
I
Yeah, I'd say we stay hidden, but it's up to you.
While I'm reading, you might as well make kind of the choices for it. So we'll remain hidden because I'm curious about that too. You decide it seems wiser to remain hidden. You're not going to lose to Gregory just because Freddy's managed to spot you peeking out from within the go kart, even if it is getting more uncomfortable with every passing minute. The noises grow louder, then Cass. Oh, wait, that's you.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. Okay, so sorry. Uh, then
Oh,
Cassie Gregory, where are you?
it's
Oh,
it's
oh,
Freddy
I
for
think.
sure. You gotta say it a little bit more
Oh
creepier
man.
than that. You gotta be like Cassie.
Oh, okay. Cassie Gregory, where are you?
That's not
There
bad.
we go.
Not bad. It's Freddy for sure. Good thing you weren't tempted to
Yes.
accidentally reveal yourself. You grin. Freddy is moving through the raceway, obviously searching for you, but it doesn't sound like he's headed in your crash. You jolt at the loud noise coming from nearby. That's you.
Cassie Gregory.
This time, Freddy yells your names. And unlike earlier, it doesn't sound like he's having fun. He almost sounds angry. Your heart starts to pound as more loud, crashing sounds ensue, as if things are being thrown about. You also hear increasingly loud growls from Freddy. You're too afraid to look, but from what you can make out, it sounds like he's becoming more and more agitated. This was supposed to be a game. Something must be wrong with Freddy. You're not going to show yourself now. You can wait until Freddy moves on, then go find Gregory. Freddy listens to him more than he listens to you. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's something we kind of already knew, but still interesting. Um, Gregory will know what to do. Increasingly nervous, you scrunch down even more. But as you do, a spasm grips your nearly asleep leg. You accidentally kick out, your foot banging against the side of the go kart. Oh no. Jump scare, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Your heart jumps into
This
your
is
throat as you freeze, trying to. This isn't game over yet, as far as we're aware. The heart jumps into your throat as you freeze, trying to ignore the tingling sensation in your leg. Holding your breath, you wait. For a moment, it seems like nothing is going to happen. Is Freddy still out in the raceway? Or has he gotten far enough away that he didn't hear you kick the side of the car? Oh, that's you.
I found you.
The roar is accompanied by the heavy tread of footsteps sprinting towards you. Alarmed, you try to free yourself from the go kart, but it's hard to move quickly, and your leg is fully asleep, which isn't helping. It's too late. Freddy appears above you, a wild look on his face. Turning your blood cold, his animatronic eyes narrow.
I found you, Cassie.
He says quieter this time, but in a way that makes your stomach twist.
You lose.
Your mouth drops open to talk to Freddy to plea, but nothing comes out. Not until he grabs you, hands clamping down on your shoulders, and pulls you from the go-kart. When that happens, you scream. His grip tightens and your eyes fill with tears, then suddenly, he lets you go. You drop to the floor with a thud as you blink to clear your vision. Freddy takes a step back. His chest pops
Oh,
open.
this is creepy.
Wait, hold up. His chest
This
pops
is creepy.
open. Inside is Gregory laughing hysterically. That's your
I
line.
got you.
As he climbs out of Freddy, the animatronic bear starts chuckling along with him. Oh,
Wow,
God.
Casey, we were really scared.
A prank. That's all it was. Another one of Gregory's jokes. They continue laughing, but to you, it wasn't very funny. Still, you smile along with them, wiping the tears from your cheeks. Oh yeah, I guess you fooled me. You get to your feet, shaking your sleeping leg back awake. You should have...
Oh, you should have seen the look. Oh, you should have seen the look on her face when Freddy grabbed you. Like you thought he was gonna eat you or something.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Freddy
Oh,
says...
I would never really hurt you.
Freddy adds, and he
I'd
seems
only
to
murder
believe
you.
it. If only you could too. There's more.
I don't.
Oh, that's night 1. So, okay. That was rather short. I guess there's more choices to make. So, let me get my sheet out here. So I've got the choices we didn't make. So we had quite a few choices. I guess let's go back to page 6 and go right. Or not right, but left. Because before we went left. Let's just explore all the choices that we didn't make for this first night. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yes.
What do we think so far while we kind of go back?
I think it's very interesting that he was already in Freddy's chest cavity. I think that's the main takeaway that I got from that. That's
Yeah.
Was not expected. And also, I guess it says something about their friendship that at this point it's already normal for them.
Cassie seems a lot more off-put by Gregory. Like there's been a lot of indications that this is kind of like almost peer pressure in a way, like because there's a lot of like indications in the dialogue that Cassie isn't exactly comfortable with this, but she's kind of just going along. So it's like almost like kind of in a weird way he's coercing her in a way. You know, like it's weird, but it almost feels like this idea of like almost like he's trying to like spread the virus to her, like the whole idea of like Gregory being one of the kind of like Vanessa in a way, being like one of the followers of Afton, or as it's put, whatever Glitch Trap is, wanting to make Cassie like that and like almost slowly corrupting her in a way, which makes Ruin really interesting if you think about it from that perspective.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens when we go right, because I think that's towards the maintenance areas. That's interesting.
You mean when we go left, or
well, we went,
or would this be a different right?
I think
Because we went right initially, right?
Was it? Is this page 6? Oh yeah. Turn left. That's down the hall and head back to the atrium of the Pizzaplex. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Actually, maybe we.
Oh wait.
I don't know how this
hold
works.
on.
Can we go like?
This is different.
Yeah.
This is different. So this is towards the arcade.
Yeah, because we went right initially. Yeah.
So hold on.
Well, actually, I'm sort of curious. So just in the sake of like not getting too out of hand, what if we made like the other choice of like getting out quicker? Like, could we quickly go back to that? Like,
Which
getting out immediately? Like,
oh, back at hold on. The last one I have saved was page 27. Hopefully we don't see any spoilers here. Well, it going that fast down. Okay, so here it is. So if you want to remain hidden, if you want to peek out. So let's try peeking out.
Yeah, let's try that since
Okay.
maybe that path goes longer.
Curiosity about the noises on the raceway gets the better of you. Shifting as slowly as you can, you untwist yourself from the confines of the go-kart until you are in a position that to take a discreet look outside it. At first, all you can see is the raceway, drenched in purple neon light, with the huge visages of Roxy looking down upon it. Could what you're hearing be Roxy? You hope so. She'd know the raceway better than Freddy would. Maybe you can ask her if there are any better places to use as hiding spot. But you seem to be alone. For a moment, all you can hear is the rise and fall of your own breath. Then finally, a long shadow slides into view. You inhale and hold your breath, thinking it's Freddy, but then a security bot wheels into your line of sight. You exhale, just a stupid bot on its rounds, keeping an eye on the Pizzaplex after hours. You're used to them. You see them every night. Half the time, they don't seem to notice you, even when you sneak by them so close that you could touch them, except you look at the bot again. This time it looks directly at you. Another moment passes, and then the bot begins to make a bunch of noise. You duck back into the go-kart, but it's too late. The ruckus is definitely drawing attention. Barely a minute passes before you hear Freddy approaching. And that's...
Fallacy, Gregory, is that you?
He sounds strange.
I know we're here,
He growls in a way...
and I'm going to find you.
There's a sudden crunching sound, and the noises the security bot was making cut off abruptly. A crash follows as if something is overturned.
You can't hide from me forever.
You scrunch your body tighter, a bad feeling growing in your stomach.
So
what is
it's
wrong with
interesting
Freddy?
that it seems like Freddy is very aggressive, which is interesting,
Well,
especially considering it sounded so he sounded so joyful in that other ending just a second ago.
this would be Gregory controlling Freddy. So it
Yeah, I
almost,
suppose so.
and the fact that it says Gregory sounds different. It almost makes me wonder if in a way this is Gregory speaking. Like, I don't know if that's possible where it's like a voice modulator. I don't know. Because it's just the idea of like Gregory, not Gregory, but Freddy gaining like a new speech pattern. It just seems weird to me. So we have two options here. If you want to try and run away to find Gregory, if you want to try talking to Freddy. That's interesting.
So I almost am curious more so if like we can get like things that were endings. Well, if we try talking to Gregory, Freddy, right, we're also finding Gregory. So, but I guess we should see if it pans out that way,
Yeah,
or if something wildly differently happens.
It probably
It might
loops
just like
around.
sort of go into the other ending, but we should just check and make sure.
Let's try this one. Okay. Whatever Freddy is doing, he's clearly taking this game of hide and seek too far. You wish Gregory was here. Freddy listens to him better than he listens to you, but he's not. Listens to you, but he's not, which means that you have to deal with the animatronic. You climb out of the car. Freddy, hey! Freddy has started to move away, leaving behind the remains of the security bot, now crumpled pile of pieces. But he freezes as he hears your voice. Slowly he turns. You do not like the look in his eyes. What are you... Oh,
What are you doing, Cassie?
Freddy says slowly,
Yeah.
slowly in a low voice.
You're supposed to hide from me.
I know. You take a careful step closer, holding up your hands. But I think you're taking the game too far seriously. Freddy, it's supposed to be fun. Freddy eyes narrow.
But I am having fun.
Well, you found me, which means Gregory wins. Let's go find him. We can look together.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But I don't need to find Gregory.
Freddy cuts in a little louder. He
I
starts moving.
found you, which means you lose.
You step back again, but the car is still behind you. There's nowhere to go. Freddy?
You lose, Cassie.
Freddy lunges at you.
Oh my.
You scream in terror. Then, in an instant, before he reaches you, Freddy stops. His chest opens up, revealing Gregory within. He's laughing. You lose, Cassie.
You lose, Cassie.
He says in a mocking voice.
Yeah.
Freddy joins him, chuckling and looking way more normal than a moment ago. And that's when you get it. There was nothing wrong with Freddy. It was all a prank orchestrated by Gregory to scare you. You relax, though your heart is still pounding in your chest. Ha ha, you say. Yeah, I guess you fooled me. You should have, that's you.
You should have seen how scared you were. Gregory jumps out of Freddy, and then told you this game would be fun. You smile and say nothing, so that's another ending,
Yeah,
right?
Sometimes you think that you and Gregory have very different ideas of fun. Are you having fun? Okay, and then that's
Okay.
night one. Okay, so that led us
Okay, so
to, well,
yeah.
there's an interesting caveat to that. So the change to that one is that we see Gregory specifically destroy a staff bot.
Yeah,
And-
which is definitely
which is strange. Like,
interesting.
it seems to be emphasizing this idea that, like, Gregory, whenever Gregory's involved, Freddy is more angry, which is
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So, interesting idea.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of just want to go down one path and see how long, like, one specific path is. Like, that's
Let's
to me what
go-
seems most interesting. So, like, if we just go back and we run, and if that quickly ends and we get close to the same thing, or no.
Okay, so
So, like, let's try
Hold on.
to run away from...
this right here. So we did peek and see what's moving around. So we can run away. So we can try that.
Yeah.
The next crash sounds a little further off. You can make a decision to try to find Gregory. You're careful to climb out of the go-kart quietly so as not to give yourself away. Where the security bot had stood moments ago is now a pile of what can only be described as metal shards and fragments. Freddy isn't anywhere around here. Is he still in Roxy Raceway? You can't see everywhere, so you're not sure, but if you're quick, it's straight shot to the stairs. If you can run up them, it's a relatively easy way back into the Pizzaplex. Still, looking at the dismantled pile of security bots, fear grips you, and you begin to run. You bolt across the raceway, you make it most of the way across, and the stairs appear to be within your reach when a huge shadow emerges at the edge of your vision. Two hands reach out and grab you, then twist you around. It's Freddy. At least, you think it is. There's a wild look in his eyes. It's Freddy, but not the same fun Freddy you started the game with. I wasn't sure where that was going. I was like, what? Golden Freddy. Freddy, you stammer? What are you doing? You ask the question, but something tells you that you're not going to get an answer. At least not when you like.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it's all kind
I
of
found
very
you.
similar.
So yeah, I don't know if I need to voice these same lines again. It's like basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I guess it just loops into more or less the same thing. It's just different ways of getting there.
Yeah. And then that one, I'm guessing, leads to night 2. So that is... We also had an option, page 8. That was quite a large one. And I think that was like one of our biggest branching path. Because that led us to whether we wanted to hide in like the reception area. So that's an interesting one. So hold on. This one. So this is on our way to Roxy Raceway. So if we want to hide in the reception area, if you want to, we already head into the raceway. If you want to hide in one of the raceway garages, so I guess let's do the reception. See if we get anything different from that. Okay. Closer inspection of the reception area comes up with fewer options than you'd anticipated. The reception area is mostly open with a few tables and chairs and some fake plants, none of which are large enough for you to hide behind. Frustration begins to set in as you search, finally settling on a good, but not great option. You can hide behind one of the counters. It's not the best cover, even though there's no time to waste, you consider changing tack and hiding down into the raceway after all. Then again, if Freddy suspects you're in a raceway, he'd probably be more likely to think you're hiding on the track than in the reception area.
That would just loop back into what we've already seen before, I'm guessing.
Yeah. You look behind, spotting Freddy on a hunt as you consider your options, but you need to decide soon. There's no way you're going to be the first one that Freddy finds. Gregory will never let you hear the end of it. As the second ticks away.
Yeah. Well, little does she know that Gregory's cheating. But...
Yeah. So if we want to hide behind the counter in this reception area anyway.
Well, let's try to commit to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Before we
slip
veer
behind
off
the reception desk, only to realize immediately that there's not enough cover. Only a narrow counter overhang with an overturned trash can behind it. You quickly figure out that this isn't going to work at all. You need to go back out into the raceway and find a better spot to hide from Freddy. But as you do so, something in the pile scattered garbage catches your eye. You pick away the empty wrapper and discarded soda cans to uncover a keychain. Strangely, it's a Bonnie keychain. You've never seen one before. You thought you'd seen most of the prizes and souvenirs that the Pizzaplex had to offer, but this one is new to you. Even though it looks old and well used, still, it's cool. So you grab it and put it in your bag. Unfortunately, it's not going to help you find a place to hide. Interesting. So that path, so hiding behind, which actually, hold on. Is this...
So you get something in your inventory for this, but...
Yeah, so page 29
that's interesting.
Is an inventory item. Which is Bonnie.
Which is interesting to note.
I think that I'm wondering if there's a path where you can get all the items, because we might want to do that if we're wanting for like the best run. Since we're just we're trying to find all the content really. Once we find each one, because I'm not sure how this seems like it's gonna build pretty solidly on each night, and I'm wondering if. So, man, this is interesting. This is an interesting setup. I don't know. I feel like this can go so many places. I'm really curious to see where this is going. Where does this go? Okay, so this goes back to... Okay, so then that leads us back to hiding in the reception area, going to the raceway. So I guess that leaves hiding in the garage. I think, right?
Yeah.
You head down into the raceway. When you're not in a rush, you like to admire the grand twisting track and remember how many times you've driven the go-kart over it. Sometimes, when you don't feel like racing, you love simply sitting in the spectator seat stands, cheering on the races that run from the moment the Pizzaplex opens until it closes at night. But right now, you have a mission. You can't get distracted, though you may ask Gregory if you can race go-karts once the game of hide-and-seek is over. On one side of the raceway, garages run along the wall fitted with workbenches and all the tools needed to maintain the go-karts in their top condition. You spot one garage that has a bunch of gray storage crates stacked in one corner, piled up nearly to the ceiling, a perfect place to hide. You head into the garage and work your way into a space behind the crates, which is just large enough to give you a nice space to sit and wait, which you do. It's a good hiding spot, though there's one problem. You can't see the raceway from your vantage point. Also, the crates muffle what little noise there is. With nothing to see and unable to hear if anyone is getting close, it doesn't take long for you to grow bored. Gregory's hide and seek game seemed like a good idea at first, but waiting to be found isn't quite as exciting as you thought it would be. But if you don't remain still and quiet, Freddy might hear you, and there's no way you're going to let Gregory win without a fight. Still, as the minutes pass, you consider ways to break up the boredom. You could peek out around the edge of the crates and keep watch on the raceway, or some of the crates look like they would open. You could look through them. Who knows what might be inside them? That's ominous.
I feel like crates would be like another inventory item, so I definitely think we should check out and rummage through the crates just for that reason.
If you want to stay quiet and still, if you want to peek out and see if there's anything happening on the raceway. Interesting. Okay. You decide to pass the time by checking out the crates. After all, what harm could it do? There are a few crates nearby that don't seem to be locked. You open the first, but are disappointed. It's completely empty. The second crate is almost as bad. There are only a few scraps of packing material on the bottom. Sure, you weren't expecting to find treasure, but certainly something a little more interesting than that. Finally, you open the last crate. It too is mostly empty, except for one item. Tucked into a corner, it's a glass jar. You pick it up. The jar is filled with a bunch of metal screws and bolts of all sizes. Not exactly exciting, but you decide to take it anyway. After all, you never know what might be useful later. Not much you can do, but wait, or is there? Add jar of screws and bolts to your inventory if you want to peek out and see if there's anything happening on the raceway. So that's interesting. So that's another.
I think we should stay quiet and stay here. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking probably. Although, I guess if we look out and see Freddy, then we have the option of running, but it's doubtful we'll make it far.
We'll succeed, yeah. We're probably right about that.
Let's see, 40 screws and bolts and hairpins. Sister location reference there. Screws, bolts, and hairpins. So you think we should stay quiet if you want to peek at. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, and this leaps around. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. This is different. You decide the best course of action is to remain quiet, which turns out to be a good idea because just a few minutes later, you hear your name being called. Cassie. It's Freddy. He's in the raceway somewhere, but you can't tell where without peeking out and risking revealing yourself. Do you want me to?
Gregory, where are you? Yeah. You can also voice them. I don't. Yeah, it doesn't really matter how we do it.
No, you're good, but I don't want to force you into doing something you don't want to do. But
I just sometimes lose my place. So it's.
Well, yeah. If you just want to like immerse yourself, I'll gladly support.
I'm also sort of like a skim reader. For me, like. I don't know, me reading this, like, going line by line is, like, not how it goes. Like, I've read, like, the whole page already, just because that's how I usually read things.
Well...
So, like, my eyes drift a lot more.
To be honest, I'm just trying to figure out how to, like, read the words without skipping sentences. I'm a terrible reader, honestly. Cassie, it's Freddy. He's in the raceway somewhere, but you can't tell where without peeking out and risking revealing yourself. Gregory, where are you? You smile to yourself. This hiding place is too good. There's no way Freddy is going to find you here. All you need is to stay quiet until he passes through the raceway. Crash! Ready or not, I'm going to find you. The anger in Freddy's voice causes you to flinch, almost as much as the crashing noise does, which is quickly followed by another one. It sounds like Freddy is overturning tables and chairs, but you're too afraid to look out. It sounds like something is wrong with Freddy. You can't hide forever. Very wrong. You swallow, unsure of what to do. As soon as Freddy leaves the raceway, you can try to find Gregory. Freddy listens to him more than he listens to you. Gregory will know what to do. Bang. This time the crashing sounds much closer. The crates shift and rattle, and you realize in horror that Freddy is just on the other side of the pile, pulling the crates away. If you don't do something quick, he's going to find you. Your heart starts to pound, mouth going dry. You can try to run, or even hide in one of the nearest crates. On the other side of the pile, another crate is pulled away. I'm going to find you, Freddy growls, sounding more menacing than you ever heard him before. Whatever you do, you need to do it fast. So if you want to try to run, if you want to hide in the crate. I feel like
I mean, I feel like it doesn't really matter what we do, to be honest here.
Yeah. Freddy's getting close. There's no way you'll be able to run without him spotting you. So you decide to try and hide inside a crate instead. And hope he doesn't think to look inside. You go to the closest one, pull the top open, and climb in. Then you shut it, plunging yourself into pure darkness. Now all you can hear is the banging and thudding of Freddy working on his way through the crates, and the thick pounding of your head and your ears. You hold your breath, hoping that when Freddy doesn't find you, he moves on to search somewhere else. Where are you? Freddy's voice is muffled by the walls of the crate. But the sound of it still makes your stomach tighten. Why is he acting so strange? Your heart drums louder and louder, and then suddenly you realize that's all you can hear. No more crates crashing around, no more Freddy calling your name. Has he given up? Moved on? You count down, resolving to take a peek outside if you don't hear anything after a minute. 59, 58. It's getting harder to breathe, but it must be in your head. You haven't been in the crate long enough for the air to be gone. 25, 24. The silence persists. Freddy must have left. You tell yourself, gone to look for you. Gone to look for you or Gregory somewhere else. 3, 2. Suddenly, the top of the crate flies open, revealing Freddy standing above you. His eyes are wild, his teeth bared. I found you, Cassie.
Would be probably the scariest one so far. Like,
yeah, that would,
if you're in their point of view.
Yeah. Dang. You're just hiding in, like, a crate. And just get the top yanked off.
I think I'd be pissing my pants, honestly.
This was a joke? You seem confused?
Okay.
Yep, Gregory says and grins. Got you good. You should have seen your face when Freddy reached for you. So this is all the same. So this links back to the whole prank thing. So going back to I guess 41, because that's where we got the inventory item. Wait, hold on. We already did this one, but let's see if we can pick out. I think this would probably lead us to the same thing. The moment you do, Freddy stomps into view. Abruptly, you stop. He stops. You freeze as his head slowly swivels your way. He spotted you. Okay.
Let me see here.
Hold on.
What?
Wait, what's happening? Pressed up against the Gregory would know what happened. Maybe Freddy's simply taking the... If you want to try to run and find Gregory... So either way, this seems like it's gonna lead to him...
Yeah, it just
Gregory
sort of
being
loops
revealed.
into an ending. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm just seeing if there's anything, because this is kind of like all very much kind of very similar.
The same thing. Yeah.
Just kind of getting you to the same kind
Yeah,
of
no, I get you.
But I'm seeing if there's any like lore stuff or anything that we missed in each kind of version. So, okay. I guess we could go back. I think that we covered all the areas. Like us going to like the reception area. Um, I think we covered that. I think the only thing that we haven't done is going to the like arcade area, which was 6, I think. Yeah, right here. So us going left. You finally decide to take left down on the hallway. You head back into the atrium of the Pizzaplex. There you go to the top of the escalators and pause. There are so many places to hide, you need to take another moment to think. Where is Freddy least likely to search? You look around and see the entrance of the Superstar Arcade. The bright pink and yellow sign jumps out, beckoning you inside. You consider it for a few moments, but the Superstar Arcade seems as good as a place as any to hide in, so you head towards it. You pass through the entrance, still making sure to avoid any cleaning or security bots that might be roaming around. Inside the Superstar Arcade is a sprawling room filled with arcade games of all kinds, both lining the walls and set in circular clusters of the red and yellow checkered floor. The games are still on at night, and you and Gregory love playing them when no one else is here. Unlike during the day, you never have to wait for the good games to be free. That's interesting for a lot of reasons.
Princess Quest.
Well, because GGY is like the whole big things with GGY is that some kid is sneaking in after hours and beating all the high scores in on the arcade machines, right? And like impossibly high. So we discover too that he's likely using the AR helmet from VIP that like doubles your scores. So that's the whole thing of like it seems like that's kind of what he's doing, which is interesting. Although not sure, I guess Gregory's got kind of an ego. He just wants to make sure everyone kind of knows.
Yeah, I can get
He's
that.
there.
Hiding in a bathroom and hide and seek seems like cheating, but for some reason I don't feel like it's gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either. Time's up, kid. If you hide behind an arcade cabinet, if you run to hide in the bathroom to hide, who knows? Maybe Gregory will be polite and not come into the women's restroom. Be more of a weirdo.
Yeah.
That'll be funny if
That'd
like
be really funny. He's like,
we go down
"Gross."
that path and it just goes into the next day and Gregory's like, where the hell were you?
It's just like, no, not going in there. Oh my goodness, that'd be funny. Let's hide behind an arcade cabinet.
Yeah, sure.
You decide Freddy will be the least likely to find you if you hide behind one of the arcade cabinets. There's one up against the wall that has a small gap between it, just wide enough for you to fit behind and wiggle into the space, which is actually pretty decent as far as hiding places go. Then you look down. There's a vent on the wall with a cover that's slightly askew. Gregory. You know what you need to do. You need to vent.
Gregory,
It's okay to be
you need to
sus.
vent.
You give it a
Among
nudge with
Us.
your foot, and it comes off, revealing a crawl space. You smile at your good fortune. That's a much better hiding spot. No way Freddy would think to look for you in there. Carefully, you crouch down and crawl inside. It's so dark you can barely see, but just inside the vent, your hand suddenly brushes against something cylindric and metallic. You fumble for it, finally lifting it close enough for your face to make it out what it is. It's a flashlight. One of the FAS technicians must have left it in the vent while doing maintenance. Definitely something that could come in handy later. You shove the flashlight in your bag, then curl up to wait, imagining where Gregory is hiding. Wherever it is. I wonder if this leads to the raceway. Wherever it is, there's no way it's as good as this spot. After a while, you hear something approaching, then a voice calling out. Gregory, Cassie, it's Freddy. Where are you? You smile to yourself. It doesn't matter that Freddy thought to look for you in the Superstar Arcade. He'll never find you in the vent. Crash. You nearly jump as the loud noise startles you. Another follows it, and another. Your stomach twists into knot. Is this a part of the game? If so, it's not like any game of hide and seek you've ever played before. Nervous and curious, you risk a look outside the vent. With the game in the way, you can only see a thin sliver of the Superstar arcade, but as you watch, another arcade cabinet crashes to the floor. Gregory! Cassie!
Yeah.
Dang, Gregory is just savage. This just reinforces it. Yeah. Even
Yeah, this
if you,
is kind of crazy.
yeah. Here, 1 second, guys. I'm going to go get a drink of water because my throat is like on fire. So
Yeah, that's very fair.
I will be right back, guys. Oh, sorry. 1 second, guys.
Going deeper into this vent definitely looks interesting.
Alright, I am back. Alright.
We got a vent, for sure.
We do indeed. My bad. Hold on.
We have to find the cheddar,
Oh my God.
and it's deep in the vent.
Oh no, not the cheddar. Oh no.
Father, I like cheddar.
Father. Oh no. No one understands that reference, Nightlen.
Yes, right.
No one understands.
Yes, our how many? We have one viewer watching right now.
I'm pretty sure.
Actually, everybody. Yeah, it is me.
It is you.
Because that's how I am reading. But
no.
so technically, 100% of our live audience understands that reference
Okay.
right now.
That's fair. That is fair. But also, people will watch the VOD and they'll be very confused at what you're talking about.
Yes, they will be very confused.
And we should keep them confused.
Yes, for sure. We can't let them in on it.
No.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
go. Let's go deeper. I want to vent.
I want to copy this into my PDF. Like the nerd I am. This was page 12. Okay. And also we got a inventory item for this one for flashlight. Okay. So go deeper in the vents. This is going to lead to something. Teethy chew. Okay. This is forbid. Okay. Freddy's voice continues to grow louder and the crashing continues, leaving you with a strange feeling in the pit. In the pit? Into the pit?
Into the pit.
Of your
We're about
stomach?
to time travel, baby.
You decide it would be a bad idea to leave the vent now. Whatever is going on with Freddy, you'd rather wait for him to move on before you try to look for Gregory. And to stay safe, you decide deeper in the vent would be better. Maybe if you're lucky, you could find another vent to exit out of. Somewhere far from Freddy. You shimmy? Sorry, I don't know why I was wanting to say shimmer. You shimmy further down the passageway, crawling on your hands and knees, trying to stay as quiet as possible. It isn't easy in this tight space, so you move carefully until you come across another discarded item. Picking it up, you peer closely at it. It's a piece of chewy candy. Must have been a very careless fast technician to leave all their stuff behind. But it's your candy now. Gross. You put it in your bag, then continue making your way into the depths of the Pizzaplex, away from the Superstar Arcade. But in your haste, your hand slips before you can catch yourself. Your elbow knocks against the wall of the vent with a loud metallic clang. You freeze. Was that loud outside the vent as it was that as loud? I can talk. Was that as loud outside the vent as it sounded inside? Your heart starts to throb in your ears, and the air turns thick, making it difficult to breathe. Did Freddy hear you? Also, add Chewy Teethy Chew to your inventory. So that's another inventory item, and that's page 14. Sorry, I have to do this all for posterity.
Yes, posterity is best.
Teethy
Teethy Chew, dentists forbid it.
Why?
That's glowing endorsement of a candy.
That is. Dentists forbid it. That's why. This is the edgy. This is Roxanne's Chewy Teethy Chew. She's like, mess up your teeth. Be as cool as me.
Yes.
You wait
Oh,
for what
man.
seems like forever, but you don't hear anything outside the vent. Then you take a deep breath and let it out. Suddenly, back at the opening of the vent, there's a loud crash. More light fills the space, but only for a moment before a dark form blocks it out. I found you, cries
Yes,
Freddy.
this sort of just goes into the same thing that we've already
Yeah.
gotten into.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's interesting that it always ends basically the same.
Yeah, it's setting up the rest of the story. But it's just kind of, it's no matter what you go through. So there's no like actual deaths here, which means there's going to be a lot of deaths later. Or I guess endings. Endings don't necessarily have to be deaths, but for the most part typically are. Okay. So what was the last one we went for? So going this way, going through the vents, which, so the getting as far as like inventory items, going through Ruxy's Raceway gets you the options of getting both the as far as inventory items, getting both the, what was it, Bonnie keychain and screws and bolts. And then this one, it seems like it gets you the flashlight and Teethy Chew candy. So I'm wondering if each night you have 2 pairs of items you can get, possibly. Like we're not using any items here yet. Let me see. Okay, go back to, what was it? Well, I guess there was an option here, wasn't there? Or was that it? No, that was it. Oh, interesting. Just wait, Gregory smirks that mischievous look from earlier back until you find out what I have in mind for tomorrow. Interesting. So, yeah, there's always the question overarching all of this of what this is actually for.
Yeah.
Like, what is he
Do you think we
preparing
should
her
go on to
for?
the next day and
did we get,
or should we continue exploring?
we have what else? I think there was one more branching path from the arcade.
Oh yeah, we could have hit in the bathroom.
Yes, and I think that's one we haven't. Let's do this one because I think this is the final one. Let's see. Okay, after considering your options, you finally decide to hide in the bathroom. After all, who wants to willingly spend lots of time in the bathroom? Freddy will never think to look for you there. You run across the Superstar Arcade to the corner where the bathrooms are. Where you think for a moment before open the door to the woman's restroom. Inside, the fluorescent lights flicker weakly, and out of the faucets is dripping the plunk, plunk, plunk in time with your steps as you move deeper into the restroom. To top it off, there is a damp, vaguely unpleasant smell like water that has been been standing too long. You start to regret choosing this as a hiding spot. Certainly, there are cleaner, brighter, and less smelly spots in the Superstar arcade, but there's no time to turn back. Freddy could come into the arcade looking for you at any moment. There are 3 stalls that you can hide in all the same electric shade of pink. The color's the only thing that brighten the room up. You consider them for a moment. If you hide inside and stand on the toilet so your feet aren't visible, you should be safe.
The fact that you have so many options here is kind of kind of funny. Stall 1, stall 2, stall 3.
I wonder,
I
I
don't feel like-
swear, if there's a Golden Freddy It's Me reference in here. It's in a bathroom. It's possible.
Okay, so I feel like we should check all of them.
Yes.
We should do 3, 2, and then 1.
So this is page 13. Okay. You said 3, 2, and 1? I did the wrong one. But, okay, stall 1 is the closest, so you run to it. Closing the door after you, being careful not to slip, you climb up on the toilet cover. It's even darker in here. The lights directly overhead have burned out, and no one has replaced the bulbs. Beyond the door, the working lights continue to flicker, a faint fizzling sound accompanying each flash. Definitely not the cheeriest spot in the Pizzaplex. You crouch and start to wait, trying to stay as small and unnoticeable as possible. With any luck, wherever Gregory has chosen to hide will be more obvious, and Freddy will help find him first. That hope grows the longer you crouch, even as your legs begin to ache from awkwardly huddling on the toilet. Every few minutes, you stand up to let them stretch, taking the chance to look over the edge of the stall and across the bathroom to the exit door. There's nothing to see, of course. Then suddenly you hear noises from beyond the door, but they're strange, and at first you can't tell what they are. Something heavy is falling. Once, twice. Then there's the sound of, like, glass breaking. Is this part of the game?
Yes. Interesting.
Yeah, so this is... It's pretty much the same. Outside the Superstar Gate, the noises have disappeared. So this is, Freddy crashing down the arcade cabinets, right?
Yeah, probably.
Interface. The bathroom door slams open. Weird. Why is Freddy in here? Come out, come out! Freddy's voice is low, almost growl. Titan clawing into your legs. Maybe you could have run, but now all you think is you're trapped. Where are you? So yeah, there's nothing like too different from this one.
Yeah.
And this just leads us back. So I'm wondering, is there something like an item we get if we do one of these?
Don't know. I mean, we should check, but...
Okay, so you decide to go into this. Or is it going to remain shut? So this is all the same.
It's just weird that you have 3 options of this.
Yeah. I guess it's creating kind of the illusion of choice. Makes you feel like you're in control. Freddy doesn't answer. Shouldn't. Yeah, it's interesting that he wanted to scare Cassie. Like, not just play a prank, he specifically wanted to scare her.
Yeah.
Like, he went
Yeah,
out
I
of
haven't
his
really
way.
picked up on that.
He
Yeah.
went out of his way in every single one of these instances. He took it too far specifically to see her scared. Which is interesting. Why? Why is it almost like
Maybe he just finds it funny. Maybe it's not really more to it than that, but
Yeah, maybe it's just like showing like the twisted sense of humor, but also at this point in the story, there is a lot going on with Gregory, and it's a whole lot of glitch trap nonsense that we still fully don't understand, or at least hasn't been confirmed.
Yeah.
I mean, I got plenty of theories, but it's interesting that we have this depiction of Gregory. Specifically, you know what's funny? Um, in Scott's troll game that he released for the FNAF movie, the final boss for the entire game was Gregory controlling like a mecha version of Freddy, um, with the retro CDs like sprawling across the screen because it was like you have to dodge them. Like it was literally like I think that GGY had already come out at that point, but the fact that it was like Gregory is the final boss almost makes me wonder if Scott was kind of in a weird trolley way was like hinting like, hey, Gregory is actually going to be the main villain of this story. You just don't know it yet. And the like retro CDs were kind of like hinting at Patient 46. And more importantly, the difference between Vanessa's possession and Gregory's, because Vanessa was more literally like a reluctant follower. Gregory was not. Like Gregory was all for it. Just makes me wonder why the ties are so much stronger with Gregory, and yet Gregory's the good guy that like broke free and then came back to save Vanessa. It's kind of strange. Maybe they're not working for the same side. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it almost makes me
No
wonder
idea.
if Gregory is working for the Mimic and Vanessa is Glitchtrap. So they're two different entities. Potentially why the Mimic's control of Gregory is so much more colder and much less like much more complete. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the Mimic is very like angry and just like very like what's the word? Reactionary. Like very reactive.
Reactionary, okay.
To like circumstances.
Yeah, I guess I can see what you're saying.
So like and almost described as like acting like a child. So him gravitating towards Gregory, it almost kind of makes sense. I don't know. We'll read more and see.
I'm curious how much more fun we're gonna have. You know, just from like a viewing experience, I sort of wonder if we should like, I don't know, going through all these different paths is interesting, but if we should like try to make some more progress.
Yeah.
And move on to night 2. But
yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think that we've gleaned, I guess, from a more like, should we keep as far as how we want to deal with like the inventory items, because there are like specific routes you have to take. Which route do you think we should take? Because I'm guessing from the bathroom, what it seemed like I saw was we get the hairpin. I think.
Yeah. I don't remember where, but where we got the Bonnie keychain is sort of interesting since the connection with her dad and Bonnie is pretty strong.
Yeah. And
you know, from what I remember about the lore, I don't remember which path that was.
So that was,
and I don't know how much I don't know how much the different paths matter. But yeah, I'm just thinking about this logically. At least like our first go through, well, like I kind of want to see everything. Probably it makes more sense just so we get more story to just like go down a certain path and just have that be that. I don't know. I haven't really played these, so
interesting. It seems like each one of them is going to be dealing with a specific animatronic. So like the first night was Freddy, this one seems to be Monty. So that would be interesting to take the Bonnie keychain for this night. I don't know if we'll be able to use it or if they're all being saved for the end. We'll see how this works. Okay. So let's go with we take the keychain, and I'll write that in our inventory. So we're going down the route of taking the Bonnie keychain and the bolts and screws.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I guess we can try all the routes, obviously, but it's, I guess, important to understand where we're getting them because context is always important. But let's just keep the train rolling. Let me take a sip from water.
Man, this is interesting. I don't know if you've really read this page, but Gregory just always seems like such a bad friend, no matter how you spin.
Yeah.
How you spin it.
All right, let's read this. All right, the entrance doors to the Pizzaplex snap shut, locking after the first few patrons leave. Once again, you and Gregory emerge from your hiding place, ready for another night of hijinks. Gregory seems on high spirits, but after what happened last night, you're feeling nervous and a little reluctant, like a reluctant follower, as he leads you back to the glam rock band's green room. Don't worry, Gregory reassures as you head up to the lobby stairs. No tricks tonight. You can play a real game of hide and seek. You slow down a little as you get close to Freddy's room. I don't know. Why don't we play hide and seek alone tonight? Just the two of us. Whoever hides from the other the longest wins the game. Gregory scoffs. What fun is that? Besides, he passes by Freddy's room without going in. I've already set tonight's game up. He turns into Monty's green room and heads over to the animatronic, who is leaning against the wall. The glam rock gator appears to be waiting for the two of you. You hesitate in the doorway. What do you mean? Gregory grins. Freddy is taking the night off. Tonight, a programmed Monty...
Oh.
Oh! Oh, boy! Hold on. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, we already knew that, but still, to have him say that, tonight I programmed Monty to play with us. We'll hide and he'll seek. So, no, that is exactly what he's doing. He is programming them to play the programming that they played in Security Breach. That is literally what this entire story is setting up. It is setting up the idea that the attitudes and the way they react to us in Security Breach, oh crap, was trained. Wait. It was all set up. Is that what this was all for? Is that he was preparing for Security Breach?
I mean, it definitely could be, but...
Why?
Man, also I'm sort of interested if this, like, no tricks promises is, like, going to be broken very, like, quickly.
That's the interesting thing. Weirdly enough, it seems like Freddy is the only one he can directly control from inside, which is weird. Very spring lock of it. Oh, this is weird. Because I've always had this weird feeling that, like, Security Breach just does not feel right. So I'm wondering something, like... but there's so many things that don't make sense. Like, the whole idea of, like, an unreliable narrator situation like that, to that degree, is almost absurd. I don't know if I'm ready to accept that yet. Like, I've had that theory of, like, that Security Breach is kind of, like... Gregory somehow trying to, like, potentially manipulate Freddy in a way, or potentially something to do with, like, getting rid of Vanny, or not getting rid of, because, like, I don't know how that works, but regardless, why would that... this is so confusing. If this is going the way I think it is. Okay. We'll just keep going. Maybe we'll get more hints. Okay. Tonight, I program Monty to play with us. We'll hide and he'll seek. You look at Monty, who grins. I'm ready to rock and roll, Gregory. Let's do this. He gives you two scaly thumbs up. You consider the proposition. It would be fun to play a real game of hide and seek at the Pizzaplex, but it's hard to forget last night. No tricks? No tricks, Gregory promises. Okay. Great. Give us a head start, he says to Monty, then to you. Come on. He grabs your arm and pulls you back into the hallway. Where should we hide, you say? How about Monty's Gator Golf? Maybe he won't think to look in his own part of the Pizzaplex. Gregory rolls his eyes. No way, I have a much better idea. We should go hide... Oh! We should hide in Bonnie Bowl. Without waiting for you.
Oh, that's creepy.
To follow or hide on your own. That's interesting. So it's immediately connecting Monty with Bonnie Bowl, but it's like Bonnie's gone at this point, right? Like what if we hide together someplace Monty never goes, like the backstage office where the stage controls are? If you want to follow Gregory...
So I say at least I think we should act like we really trust Gregory initially and just see where that gets us. So let's be a Gregory ride or die.
Because here's the thing, we know that Bonnie was placed in Bonnie Bowl in the backstage. So if Bonnie's still active here, is this gonna show Bonnie's death? Like Glamrock Bonnie? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe that's... Or maybe we'll get hints to it? I don't know. We've already got some interesting... Let me go ahead and lay this out real quick. Okay. So, this is... Night 2. This is... 49. Ah, this is interesting. See, this is why I like these, because they can go to, like, so many weird places. And it's interesting. So we follow Gregory. Okay. Gregory doesn't wait for you. After thinking for a moment, you rush after him, towards Bonnie Bowl. It's not your first choice for a hiding place, but it's where Gregory wants to go. And if you stick close to him, it's unlikely that he can pull off any more pranks like last night. You try to catch up, but there's a pair of security bots in the Pizzaplex lobby, which you have to avoid. It delays you, and you make it to Bonnie Bowl just in time to see Gregory at the opposite end of the entrance atrium, heading into the bowling area. You go that way, too. As much as Roxy Raceway is your favorite part of the Pizzaplex, you do like Bonnie Bowl. It has a cool vintage look, and it also is home to the best ice cream. Gregory, you call after him as loudly as you dare, afraid to draw attention from the bots, or worse, Monty. Wait up! Either he doesn't hear you, or he doesn't care, because he goes directly for a door down near the end of the lanes. You think it leads to the area behind the bowling lanes. That's where Bonnie is.
Mm.
That's where Bonnie was found. Or maybe... Because here's the other thing. Glamrock Bonnie was still there as of ruin. So, like, he wasn't
that is
moved.
true.
If you want to check out Bonnie's old stage. Ooh, interesting. So old, so Bonnie's gone. You think it leads to the area behind the bowling lanes where the pins get reset. It's a good place to hide. You're a little bummed that Gregory thought of it before you did. He opens the doors and goes in, letting the door shut behind you. Once you reach it, you try to follow him, but it's locked. Oh, you don't know the code for the keypad beside it. You pound on the door. Gregory, let me in. You wait, then try pounding on the door again, but he doesn't reply. That, to my knowledge, is, if it's the door I'm thinking about, is the door that leads to Bonnie's corpse. Your head start must be running out soon.
Wow.
Giving up on Gregory, you look around. The ice cream parlor jumps out at you first. What better place to hide than somewhere with delicious frozen treats? But as you scan the bowling lanes, your eyes are drawn to Bonnie's old stage, surrounded by heavy velvet curtains. Bonnie hasn't performed in ages, but maybe a stage would make a good hiding spot. Bonnie hasn't performed in ages. Well,
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking
there.
of the stage and Into the Pit, with Bonnie.
Here's
I
the
don't know if that
thing.
would be a great hiding spot.
There's a secret door behind Bonnie's stage that leads to their. I forgot where it led. It led to the server room, I believe. If not the server room, did it? Is that where it was?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it was. Yeah. I'm interested in that. That's so interesting. Okay. He hasn't performed in ages, but does that mean he's been decommissioned? I don't know. Does that mean he's been decommissioned? Is this literally going to set up that Gregory was the one who set up the whole Bonnie getting trashed? I don't know. I don't know if that's where
That
this is
would
going.
be.
That just
I
Gregory's
don't.
behind
It
everything.
could be, but I don't think so.
It could literally just be that Bonnie's already gone. But the fact that like Gregory went to a spot that literally is where he is, that's strange to me. And to lock the door specifically so that Cassie couldn't see. And then is leading Monty to that place. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check behind the stage. You're curious enough about Bonnie's old stage that you wander over to it. It's surrounded by a velvet curtain with a sign that says the attraction is temporarily closed, which has been there as long as you can remember. Dust tickles your nose as you pull aside the curtain, letting what little light there is for the neon sign fall aside. The small stage is empty, save for more dust and a few stray discarded napkins. But a door... I knew it. On the back wall draws your attention. Even from here, you can tell that it's locked with no indication of where it goes. Strange, you think, but there's no time to ponder it. There are noises behind you, coming from back between the entrance to Bonnie Ball. Yeah, Monty croons in his rough rock and roll. Here I come. Shoot, you weren't paying attention.
Oh, we're out
Now you're
caught,
almost
probably.
out of time and find a hiding spot. But that does confirm that the door is there. That's interesting. And that leads to... Oh, you know what? You know what it is? That leads to his green room. His, like, old green room. With the vent that leads down to where... Vanny's hideout is.
So we're thinking we probably should hide behind the stage, right? Or no?
It said that the door was locked. If you want to hide behind the stage curtain. I mean, it could be possible. I don't know. I could try.
I don't see any harm in hiding behind the stage. That seems
This is
more natural than hiding in the trash can to me.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. With no time to lose, you climb up on the stage and draw the curtain closed, leaving only a tiny slit through which you can peer out into Bonnie Bowl. You wait, dust tickling your nose, and it's not long before Monty comes stomping into view. Something seems strange about his movements, though. They're twitchier than normal, as if he's receiving little jolts of electricity every so often. Strange, you think, but maybe he's due for maintenance? You can't run. You can't run. You can't hide. Why does that sound familiar? That's maybe just one of his voice lines from Security Breach, but...
Yeah, it probably is just one of his lines from Security Breach.
Wait, no, that's, Hold on.
Man, it is interesting that these animatronics are already being reprogrammed and they're already very aggressive.
Yes, directly due to Gregory's actions. Which I think is the highlight here, is that Gregory's the one who's directly responsible for their aggressive change.
But they're not being aggressive towards humans. It seems to be just the staff bot. So maybe he's trying to protest the security measures. Maybe that's the idea.
I was trying to see if I mean, it's not like a like super unique line. You can't run, you can't hide. I mean, I feel like there's probably been several lines pretty close to it, but I was just thinking it sounded familiar. Um, that's interesting. Okay. All right. Does he sound weird to you? Monty takes a few more steps, head swinging left and right as he surveys Bonnie Bull. Searching, then a violent twitch nearly sends him toppling to one side. He catches a table at the last moment, claws scraping over it, leaving deep furrows, and suddenly, a cleaning bot comes into view. Normally, Monty would ignore it, but instead he grows vicious and lunges for it. Found you! His claws sink into the bot, then he rips his hands away. Part of the bot go flying. Your fingers tighten on the edge of the velvet curtain. That's not right. Is Gregory playing another joke on you? That's what you want to think, but Monty's twitching might indicate something actually wrong. Your mouth goes dry as you realize that if Monty comes closer, he might find you. And if he repeats what he did to that bot, that's only if he looks behind the curtain, you assure yourself. If you have the Bonnie keychain, does that have the key for the door? Oh, interesting. Okay, if you have the Bonnie keychain, is that like, are we using it as a distraction? But in this run, we do have that. So let me go ahead and mark this. Okay, page 56. Here we go. Okay. So our first item usage was just pretty cool. Okay. So let's go ahead and use the keychain. Stop. Okay. If you could get through the door of the stage, maybe you'd be safe. Wait, suddenly you recall the Bonnie keychain you found earlier. Digging out of your bag, you pop the Bonnie head off to reveal a key. What? You go over to the door and try to get the key into the lock. It's not easy in the dark, but finally you get the key in. It fits perfectly. The moment you turn it, Monty rips the curtain away. He twitches, eyes glowing with a fervent anger. Found you! Panicking, your fingers nearly slip from the key, but you manage to turn it as Monty jumps onto the stage. You shove the door open and slip in, slamming it shut just in time. Monty's entire weight slams against it, rattling the frame, but thankfully, it locked behind you. Monty pounds on the door.
Making feral sounds.
Making feral sounds that cause your blood to run cold. He is a dog. He's just a little dog. He's a little rabid dog. I'm gonna get you, Monty cries. Bang, bang, bang. His fists beat against the door. You swallow hard as the frame strains under each blow.
I feel like Gregory's playing a trick on us again. Somehow. I don't know how, though.
I don't know. Well, the whole, like, twitches of electricity makes me wonder if he's, like... I don't know. The door looked steady, but soon you realize that it isn't going to last. It's all you can do to shakily get to your feet and look around. Your stomach drops as you do. There's nothing here, just some old tables and chairs. Beat up cardboard cutouts of Bonnie. No other doors, no windows. You're trapped. Oh, that's interesting. Just old tables and chairs. What? I mean... No? You're trapped. Help, you don't know what else to do. Gregory, help me. Monty has gone crazy. Monty has gone crazy. Mont echoes in a mocking way. A splinter of dull. There you are. Gonna get you. There's a lot of interesting things happening here. You back up against the wall, but there's nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Bursts the remains of the stage, lunging at you. You scream right before his claws reach you. Monty suddenly deactivates, going limp. Gasping for breath, you look behind him. Gregory is there on the stage, a device in hand. That wasn't funny, you cry. You said no more pranks. It wasn't a prank, Gregory replies. I swear I don't know what happened. Something went wrong with his programming. Mad and still terrified, you went to yell more, but the way Monty was twitching, maybe there was something wrong with him. I'll fix it before we play again, Gregory promises. You nod, but you're not sure you want to play any more of Gregory's games.
Man, us being Casey, we must be so lonely because she
We don't
seemed to
have
like
any
Gregory
friends.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We are
I
lonely.
don't know. I'd prefer to be alone at this point.
Okay, a lot of interesting things here. First of all, Monty mimics us. He repeats our phrase. Monty has gone crazy, Monty echoes in a mocking way. That's not right. Interesting. But also, the way this room is set up. Okay, I need to... Well, do we ever see... I guess we don't see it. No, I think we do. Hold on. This is interesting too. So, in Ruin. Let's see, Bonnie. Green room. That part. If I have an image of it. Oh yeah, here it is. I guess that is sort of accurate. It says it's all you can do. So this is the way that it looks in Ruin. It's pretty accurate. I mean, it's a little bit different because there's all the lights and stuff. It feels like it would be noteworthy. Which is interesting. But for the most part, it kind of fits what's described here, which is that there's nothing here, just some old tables and chairs, beat up cardboard cut out of Bonnie. Well, there is no... Interesting. There's a lot more there than there was. Which is strange. Huh. Which I feel like could mean a lot of different things. Okay, so once again, Gregory says here that there's nothing wrong. He had a device in hand that controlled it. But again, it's the same situation, so there's a lot of suspicion here of like, was he telling the truth? Okay, was that all that was?
I don't know. I don't know if he was telling the truth, but it's hard to say.
So, end of story. Basically, Monty goes on the fritz, starts twitching, and is actually violent.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe... I don't think we're being told the full truth, but I'm inclined to believe him.
Must be a glitch. That's funny. I'm curious about all the other paths, but at the same time, I almost want to get through because it seems like it's all leading to the same place. But the like getting new items is kind of the thing. That kind of unlocks different areas. But I kind of would like to. Well, maybe we should end it off there. Maybe that's good.
Yeah, we could.
Point.
Yeah, I don't know
Guess
how
we've been
long
going
have we been
for-
going? Oh, we've been going on 2 hours.
Yeah,
A little over 2 hours.
It's been about 2
Yeah,
hours.
it is interesting though.
I guess to kind
I
of.
wonder where it's going.
Yeah, I am very curious. I am really, really curious.
But yeah, that's probably a good stopping place.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we weren't able to do any polls or anything.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because like we just don't have enough people in the stream. I'm not popular enough for it. I don't have enough people, but it's okay.
One day.
One day, one day we will. But for all those who are watching
Oh
this after
no,
the
but
fact,
it's been fun.
because typically the viewership on like the VODs or like the live streams afterwards are actually pretty good. So I imagine a lot of people will be interested after the fact, because Tuesday night is kind of a weird time to stream this, but it's also when the book released. So, happy April Fools, everybody!
Oh yeah.
Not that this was an April Fools stream, but it was a stream for you guys.
Yeah. You know, it would have been so funny if you introduced me as your cousin and you were like, yeah, I like my cousin, he's a cool guy. April Fools, just kidding.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I actually hate his guts. Yeah, no.
yes.
Well,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I'm gonna end the
But
stream there.
yeah,
We'll pick it up.
Yeah, no, it's been a good stream.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.
Next time.
Next time.
Take care. Toodaloos.
Toodaloo.
Stream.